Hello again. I was thinking about doing another talking one about an issue that again it's like a difficult political issue, and it puts people in a bad light and everything like that. But I thought I'd try and lighten it up with this one, and I thought I'll talk about another taxi issue. Is to tip or not to tip. Now, I'll be honest with you. I doubt if there's a single taxi driver who would ever refuse a tip, and I'm no exception to that. Do I think taxi drivers should be tipped as a matter of course? No, I don't. I think if a person feels suitably generous to do so, or they feel like you've given them a good enough service to justify it, then by all means, give the tip. It'd be nice, kind of thing. Now, I've had all manner of tips, ranging from 10p, kind of the smallest one, right up to one bloke tipped me a whole tenner when even the fare itself was only £10. So that it's you never know what you're going to get. Some people, or most people should I say, when they do tip, it's usually a case of rounding it up because they don't want the odd change kind of thing. So if someone says it's £5.70, take £6 driver, that kind of thing. You get that mostly, that's the main kind of tipping you get. But there's also one thing that happens which I always find a bit weird, is that obviously because we only carry so much money in our pockets kind of thing, and most drivers I would have some kind of float as change for when people pay you, and you want to kind of protect that float if you can, because the last thing you want to do is run out of change altogether, and then you have to go home or go somewhere to see if you can get some more change to rejuvenate your float, if you know what I mean, which is really annoying. So one thing that people do, I find it quite amusing, is that so like, let's say the fare is £5.20, then they're going to say and they give you a £10 note, and you're thinking, right, that's gonna take £4 coins and a 50p, a 20p and a 10p out of me float in one fell swoop. You get about 3 or 4 of those kind of things in a row, and very quickly you've lost your float. So what you'll do, somebody says it's £5.20, and say, oh, do you happen to have the 20p on you, or even any coin, or 50p, and I can give you the oddments and that kind of thing. And then people say, oh, round it up to £6 if that makes it any easier for you. And I find that amusing, because you're still going to be down by £4 coins, aren't you? So it doesn't really help that much. The alternative, and I know one taxi driver who says that he does it, that when it's like that he can't be bothered, that basically he's doing like a reverse tip, if you like. So he'll tip the passenger by letting him off the 10p or the 20p because it's too much hassle to give the change out. I'm not in that camp. I'm more sort of inclined to grin and bear it, and I'll give them the change if I have to, because I don't think I should have to pay passengers sort of like, or give passengers discounts for the just so that I've got the privilege of not having to give them all the correct change and everything like that, and because some people just literally can't be bothered to look into their purse or fiddle about in their pockets to see if they have got the coin to cover the small amount. So take from that what you will. You probably call me tight or something like that, but I don't think that. I think it should be the other way. I'm providing a service. If my service is good enough and you feel happy about it to give a tip in the same way as you might give a tip to a waitress or a waiter in a you know, in a restaurant or anything like that. That's entirely up to you. I don't expect to be tipped. I don't ask to be tipped. It's always nice when it comes, but I would never like to think that any passenger felt under any pressure to do so. So yeah, it's weird when you do get the one that's really is like massive, because like I said at the beginning of the video, one guy, you know, I took him home. The fare actually literally came to exactly £10. He gave me a £20 note and told me to keep the change. And I had to, are you sure, mate? You know, he said, yeah, you know, treat yourself. And I mean, I'm not going to refuse it, but by the same token, you've got to wonder what's, you know, that's some kind of generosity of spirit, I suppose. I don't know. There's not many people like that, is there? So enjoy it while you can. Sometimes I find that if I get a decent passenger, I get engaged in good conversation with them, and we have some, you know, an enjoyable exchange. You do sometimes find that the tips come a bit more readily in those circumstances. So I always try and engage with passengers. You find that passengers who don't want to talk at all and just want to sit there in silence, which, if I'm honest, kind of freaks me out a little bit, then you don't usually get tips from those kind of people anyway. So, but if somebody's chatty, I get in there and I try and make them laugh and make them feel comfortable and happy and that kind of thing. Don't get into anything too dramatic. You find that the tips improve in those circumstances. That's my experience anyway. Anyway, to tip or not tip, if you don't want to, don't. If you do, do it with humour, and the taxi driver, I'm certainly grateful for any tips I'm given, and it's appreciated, and it all goes in, and my wife spends it for me, and that's how it works. So there you go. Thanks for listening, and if you like these kind of videos, please think about subscribing to the channel, you know, giving us a like and that kind of thing. I'm hoping that the channel can grow a bit. I'm not expecting anything great, but anything you can do, you can tip me by giving me a like. That would be great. So have a good day, and I'll speak to you again soon.